right, if you just joined us, you're still on to Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's get to our main conversation. The World Bank has advised Nigeria to sustain its ongoing economic reforms for 10 to 15 years to establish itself as a leading economic power both in sub-Saharan Africa and globally. These reforms are deemed crucial for promoting sustainable growth, enabling Nigeria to compete with other emerging economies. Speaking at the 30th Nigerian Economic Summit in Abuja, World Bank Senior Vice President Indamet Gill emphasized that the reforms, which include the removal of fuel subsidy and unification of the foreign exchange market, are necessary despite their challenges. Nigeria faces inflation at 32.15%, driven by increased costs from fuel subsidy and removal, and foreign exchange volatility contributing to a high cost of living. Gill pointed out that these reforms, though difficult to implement, are essential to reverse the 10 trillion naira loss benefiting the elite through previous subsidies and exchange rate policies. He urged the country to stay committed to these changes, noting that the long-term rewards would be transformative for Nigeria's economy, making it an engine room of growth for the region. That's our report for today. Now let's have a conversation. We have today in the studios to do justice to all that. We have Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, Barrister, Law, Public Affairs Analyst, and Cyril Abaku, Journalist and Public Affairs Analyst. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and welcome to Enterprise Morning today.
Thank you.
Good morning and thank you.
All right, beautiful. So let's get into the issue proper here. I have asked this question one or twice on the significance of the World Bank as it connects to Nigeria. Every country is different. What runs in another country is different from what runs in another country. And policies of each country is directly related to what the country itself can hold. Do you think this advice from the World Bank is good enough for our country, realistically knowing the position that we are in now? Let me start with you, Barrister Tunji.
I think I don't want to agree with the World Bank officers because probably he made those statements or those advice because he's not feeling our pains. He's not in Nigeria. He's not residing in Nigeria. He's not in the position of majority of the masses of Nigeria. Yeah, even if he's in Nigeria, let me just say, the man should let the man who gave that advice, let him come to Nigeria and live on I'm even talking about higher income now to an extent, relatively. Let him live on an income of 1 million naira. Let him be staying in a rental apartment in a PI or Ikoyi or anywhere. And then let him not get any other means of money. And let's see whether or not he will not change his position. You see, the man is saying we have to continue for these reforms. Unfortunately, I have not seen the reform he's talking about. It's only talking about subsidy removal and the FS
unification of the exchange rate.
What are these? What are these reforms? What are they giving us? It should have highlighted what this reform will give us, and what we are seeing on ground. We see having there's no electricity, as I know, in Nigeria, for almost 48 hours now, or 24 hours or more. Nigeria don't have light, stable electricity. How do you grow?
But that's not caused. But that's not caused by the World Bank. I guess it's very important that we differentiate personalities, politicians from.
The World Bank is talking about supporting that the policies of our government, if given a chance for 10 years or whatever, it will give results. And I'm telling him, I'm not talking about the man, I'm talking about our policies.
Yes.
That how are those policies, subsidy removal and the FX, what's it called?
Unification.
Yeah.
We change we sustain us. I will give us is he saying that before that time, do you know how many Nigerians that will have collapsed? Not why I say collapse, some will have gone.
Yeah.
Majority. Businesses will have collapsed. So many other things will have. So who will sustain it? How? If you have a reform, that's the fact that you're having a reform does not mean citizens should not go into hardship that they will not even be able to control. It's very hard these days. If we continue this way, there may not be Nigeria again. Though. There may not be even masses in Nigeria that will be able to even benefit from that, the result of that reform. Because I'll tell you now, how many Nigerians are being able to maneuver this economy that we're talking about today now? Only those in government, those who have money. Those, everybody just are living for instance, how much you spend on food now today? Food. So, and you say for us, this reform is causing serious hardship. And I'm not seeing any light and the tunnel from it. I'm not even seeing the tunnel. Because this reform, to me, as far as I'm concerned, is not a reform that I rely on to say it will give me results. I would have expected the man to give us the criteria or yardstick, things that we saw, that for him to believe that, look, with time, this will give us because you have started a reform for how many months now? We have not even seen any likelihood of any good result from it. It's been hardship. We can't continue this manner. I beg to disagree with the man.
All right, Cyril Abaku, there's no denying the fact that the World Bank has this instrument it uses to gauge economies around the world. Let's not forget, the World Bank has been very effective in Nigeria since 1953, providing credit, loans, and so on and so forth. Not just Nigeria, other countries of the world that have utilized every tool and instruments of the World Bank to achieve sustainability. So do you think this is a question of the policies as established by the World Bank, or is it a situation where our politicians are not doing what they should do in ensuring that those policies work for the good of Nigerians?
First things first, I don't know of any country in the world that the World Bank has been a blessing to.
Really?
Yes, I don't. Except you do. Then number two, I don't also know of any country that was moving from third world to first. And the World Bank was the lifter up, as it were. Because what does a lender do? Essentially, they provide capital. Is that not so? So, but the World Bank, every country the World Bank has moved into has died. Argentina, look at Argentina, for example. Where's Argentina today? In fact, South America, all those economies that follow the woolly-headed ideas of the World Bank are literally comatose. And we've told Nigeria, do not follow this path. If you want us to take these items, okay, now let me even see this. You know, it's a boys' club. They gathered together to say the things they wanted to say. What did the president say through the vice president? He said, and I'm reading in quotes, I want to emphasize.
Who now? Who are you?
Vice President Shettima.
Oh, beautiful.
Standing for President Tinubu. Yeah. I want to emphasize that the challenges before us are insignificant. Did you hear that? Insignificant and manageable, and can be overcome with the right policies, the right partnerships, and the right level of commitment. Nigeria can emerge stronger, more competitive, and more resilient. End quote. The vice president is being insensitive. The challenges we face today didn't emerge because of the weather or the topography or the geography or even demography of Nigeria. It emerged because Nigeria, the government imposed it on us. Subsidy in itself is no evil. The corruption we put inside subsidy is the problem.
Beautiful. Okay, caused by who now? Caused by who?
By government itself.
Beautiful. Not the World Bank now, isn't it?
No, not the World Bank.
Beautiful, because it's very important we distill both together.
I'm coming. But the corruption in subsidy that government failed to address, okay, isn't what the World Bank is saying government should take away. What World Bank is saying, the subsidy itself, whether it is good or bad, take it out. They are talking of student loan for many years. The World Bank was saying, take away subsidies. Now they've taken subsidies out. How many people can go to school? Have you checked the latest dropout rates of school children? These guys don't wish us anything good. You know why? Because the Bretton Woods institutions were formed after World War II. They were formed for Europe. When it comes to Africa, they are telling us things that even their own countries don't do. So we must be careful what we adopt. Now look at what the vice president is saying. They are insignificant. How do you mean insignificant? People are dying. People are losing jobs. Since Tinubu came into, and they're saying that this policy should remain for the next 10 to 15 years. And what more witchcraft can you get? It's plain and simple. There is no, they said, let me say this, the so-called floating of Naira has left the Naira to sink even further. Because till tomorrow, I hope we know, the CBN have not given dollars to anybody. They said they floated Naira, people should go to airport and other places and open bureau de change offices. Anybody who wants the dollar should just go there. But if you truly give people dollars and they refuse to make it available, shouldn't you bring criminal case against them? But they've not done that. There is still a dichotomy between official rate and black market rate. And Nigerians still have only the black market to access the dollar.
Okay.
So what they've done invariably is that they've taken subsidy off the dollar. And then, so the government is to blame. Government is to hold to account. But World Bank is involved because it was the World Bank that kept on telling the president, whispering, do it, do it, do it. And he also went ahead to do it. The president, how do you say it in law? You cannot approbate
and reprobate
at the same time. The president himself admitted that this whole subsidy thing has been a scam. That a few people, a cabal, came together and took all the money. And the question is, if even the president could admit that happened, shouldn't he, as president, order that we find those people out and take back our money, other than transferring the burden of that theft to the common masses, who on a good day, who are not backing with government? So what the World Bank is saying is not fair, is not right. How many Nigerians are going to die? Are going to be out of school? Are going to be out of jobs? Are going to live better lives before we realize that this path we're taking will not lead to anywhere. The president, when he was president, in 2012, when Jonathan took subsidy out, we could have had a good transition. They called it the Jonathan tax. They abused the IMF and the World Bank. President Tinubu and his people. Now that they're in government, what have they done? They've become converts. They become converts in the IMF Church of African Liberation or African Recolonization. That's what they become. How can you attack the World Bank and later on when you come into government, you now become the chief architect of their policies? Is the president happy?
All right. So, Barrister Tunji, they say a lazy man quarrels with his tools. At so many instances, we tend to blame the tool, right, and not the person who utilizes the tool. Now, let's talk a bit about subsidy removal in its core itself. Prior to our election, all the three main presidential candidates, Peter Obi, Atiku, and even Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all insisted that they were going to take away subsidy. It was something everyone agreed, right? Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has come, he's removed the subsidy. And now we're all complaining about it. Now, the question again is the removal itself the issue or the manner at which it is going to be removed? The World Bank says remove it. So don't you think if the World Bank says remove it, it now the call or the call of whoever it is in charge to say, okay, I'm going to remove it, just like the World Bank says, but I'm going to do it in certain manner. So don't you think it is the method that is the problem and not the message itself?
Yes, I agree with you. It is a method and not the subsidy itself. And it's if all the candidates, or sorry, not all of them, because I know of one that says clearly that they will not remove subsidy. That's Adewale, SDP candidate. He said it clearly. So we must put it out. And let's even say that all the candidates agree, or some of the candidates agree that they will remove subsidy. Do they say they will remove subsidy without looking at the books?
Mm-hmm.
They say they will just come into the office on the first day and say subsidy is gone.
From the
they
parade ground.
They say when they remove subsidy, there won't be any provision.
Yes.
To cover to cushion the effects of the subsidy. These are the problems. Even if as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe subsidy removal is our problem. Our subsidy is our problem. I don't believe so. And I said it when the subsidy was removed that time. The second day I said, look, subsidy removal by the government is a solution to one problem that will create so multiplicity of problems that will create hardship for the people. And that's what we're seeing today. So, like he said, if you are complaining about corruption in the subsidy, that this subsidy we are giving out is being enjoyed by few people. Thank God you know these few people. Because this money we are giving to the people, to individual, not to invisible human being. You know those who that have been giving money to do subsidy. Why can't you call them and ask questions? Why can't you investigate them and take proper steps against them if they are found they're wanting? So the inability of the government to do the right thing is the reason why we are here. Right. The subsidy itself is not a problem.
So the World Bank said they can remove it isn't the problem.
That's what it will pay them.
Okay.
They are businessmen now. It's like you want to buy something in the market and people will tell you, this thing you are buying until you die, that thing will be there. And you try to agree with it and you buy it and you try to fall into it. It's a while. So the point is that we have people who are not sincere in our system.
Yeah.
Because you cannot just, before you come into power, you can't criticize a policy. And when you get into power, that same policy that you criticize, that you fought against, is the same policy you are now implementing. So for me, it is not the fact that because they have only been coming and say, after all candidates say they will remove subsidy. Yes. They did not say they will remove subsidy on the first day of the assumption. So the method of removing the subsidy is what is giving us problem now. The lack of ability of the government to provide us with alternatives, to provide to cushion the effects of the subsidy. You cannot be giving rights and everything to everybody and think that will cushion the subsidy. Rights will not pay school fees. Rights will not pay electricity. We have increase in the electricity bill. The electricities are not even available. The supplies are not available. So, and the World Bank are saying, if you continue in this manner, we'll sustain. As those money realized from the subsidy, what has it been used for? Have we improved our generation, electricity generation? Have we done anything to? Because for you to have good economy in any country, there must be steady supply of electricity. Today, I tell you, if you have a steady supply of electricity, some things will change. Some things will change because most of those people you see driving Okada, Marua, or whatever, so they have their jobs. Yeah. They have their vocation. Then because there's no electricity for them to work, they decide to venture into another thing. And then so many things have gone haywire. So for me, you cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. It's impossible. I said we want to go to space, and that space I know if you grade it very well, something must have been used as foundation or pillar to hold it. So you cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. So what we are doing today is that the government is putting something on nothing and expecting a different result. It's not possible. You can't be doing the same thing the same way and expect a different result. The government has not, and you see, the problem we have in this country is one of the things you see from the statement of the vice president or the president's statement that been read by the vice presidents. They don't consider, they don't admit that there's a problem. When you don't admit that there's a problem, you can't have solution. Yeah. When the president say, when the vice president of the president say it's insignificant, he's showing that look, he's trivializing it. Just like what the minister of power just said, that the lack of electricity, the collapse of the what's it called? National grid. It's just it's not a collapse per se, it's just a minor tip off or something. That's what he said. So when you trivialize the problem or major problems, you will not find solution to it because you won't see it as a problem. So if the president of Pakistan is saying it's an insignificant problem, then we are in for a problem.
But Barrister, you'll agree with me. You are a politician yourself, and it's often said most times we get to analyze as much as we can when we are out of the turf or when we are not in the realm of where things happen. When we get into the realm itself, we begin to see things that we have not been seeing before now. Don't you think that the people in authority understand the quagmire, they understand the issue, and therefore maybe taking this stage to ensure that the future is guaranteed? Because if it goes the way it is, it might not all go well. Don't you think so?
Yeah, why I agree with you that it's easy to stay outside and criticize because you don't know what is inside. Yes, I also want to disagree that look, once you accept while doing campaign, all these people did not say I was not inside. They told us they have the solution to every problem. They did not consider that, look, I am not in. I don't know what the issue is. And now that they are in, and they see something different from what they think, what they were outside. Why can't they tell us? Why I was outside making this statement too? I was thinking this is the position of things. But now that I'm inside, this thing are like this, this thing are like that. I don't want to agree that patient of a thing. Nigerians have been patient. I've been patient since I was born. Since I've been told, be patient, it will be better. I remember Abacha Vision 2010. I remember Babangida Vision. So. There are so many visions. Whatever that was at that time, we were thinking 2010 is like 100 years that will not come. Today, what has happened?
All right.
So while Baba Buhari was there, the former president, we have been told the patient is laying good foundation for us. By the time he finishes with his foundation or finish with his foundation, the things will be different, and we will see where we are going. Today, what are we complaining of? That there was no, what we have been told by this current government now is that there was nothing laid by the former president. Rather, it destroyed what was even on grant. That is the feeling we are getting from the current government. So, what is the guarantee that when these people also leave, we will not hear the same story? And then by another 8 years will have been wasted. So why can't we look at it? And again, when you are even bringing out policies, and you are not seeing the consequential effect on the people, on the life of the people, or you are not even seeing the changes in the life of the people, or in the infrastructure that we have in the country, how well as the subsidy has been removed, that are giving us so much more money according to them. How much has it been used to develop our health center? How much has it been used to develop our education? How well has it been used to develop our national grid or whatever that we need to do? Nothing has been developed. It's the same of the same, and we are expecting different results. It's not possible.
Cyril Abaku, you understand the parable of the talent. It's fictional, but it plays a lot in what I'm about to ask now. In 1986, Babangida launched the Structural Adjustment Program, SAP, with support from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank to restructure the Nigerian economy. Today, the same World Bank, IMF, is coming to Bola Ahmed Tinubu to equally do what seemed like a structural... Yes, exactly. So don't you think that this is a situation where we consistently do not have people who utilize the talents they've been given, and not necessarily because the talent itself is bad?
You see, but the thing is that when you're talking to a doctor who has a pill for every situation, who has the same pill for Brazil, same pill for Colombia, same pill for Argentina, same pill for... I think the Nigerian poet Niyo Shondare once wrote and said, the IMF is the doctor that heals by killing the patient. When they have the same solution for everybody, you have to be a warrior of it, no matter what they call it, in different... by the way,
don't forget that we have a word called Gbogbo Lese.
You realize that there is apart from take subsidy off and unify your exchange rate, there's also the issue of taxes. That one, the Tinubu government pushed them away that no, we won't accept that one. They came and said that we're not paying enough VAT, we're not paying enough tax, that we need to raise tax ratio. Government said no, please don't bring that one here. But where I'm going is this, right? Henry, leadership matters. IMF or no IMF, the idea of taking subsidies off and could be another option on the table, frankly, whether IMF brought it or not, right? But let's compare Abacha and Babangida. Abacha came into office and pushed away all the IMF World Bank policies and started bringing in nationalist economic thinkers, people who were writing against Babangida when Babangida was in office. Akpan Ekpo, I think, was on his economic think tank. He had approached Anthony Anit, the finance minister, and he told him, I'm an accountant. You need to get a core economist and a manager, and then don't just use him, have a team. That was what he called economic team came from. He went and took Professor Sam Aluko as finance minister, then had some people around him. So what did they do? Any nation's economy is too serious to have just one person running it. You need a think tank, you need a collegial approach to it. So even if they thought of it and said, let's take subsidy, let's look at how Jonathan did it in 2012. In 2011, he called for a meeting. CAN was there, CAN, PF, and all these professional groups, the governors, they sat and agreed that subsidy had to go. There was elite consensus. Okay, what do we do? They said, Mr. President, remove it immediately. He told them no. It is still in the budget. And don't let us take Nigerians too quickly. Okay? But by surprise, let's wait until when the budget has run out. So 2012, January 1, he announced and said subsidy won't be in the new year's budget. The same governor, the same APC people, then ACN, that we have a team in that meeting. We are the ones that began the revolt. the president was too shocked to believe that they were revolting against him. Osun and Lagos. Lagos, where civil servants were told, made it their duty to resume at Ojota, clean the place, and then go back to their houses. That was their duty. All right, these are facts that can be verified. It was in ACN state that the opposition to subsidy was the strongest. In fact, that was where it began. It was even artificial. Then Adam Oshomole and some governors went back to Aso Rock to meet the president. Oshomole, who was not in on the plot, was not, he was an ACN governor.
Yes.
Was telling his colleagues, you people, we came here and agreed, and he went and changed the. They were looking at it because he was out of the loop. Where am I going with this? Taking subsidy away may not essentially be a World Bank idea per se. Because if anybody came in to say the level of rot in the system, like I said earlier, the beginning point will be, let us separate the rot from the, because the fact is that the money taken from subsidy, won't you spend it somewhere else? This CNG, go and check what the level of the CNG project after a year. Okay? So, they could have said, okay, separate the corruption from the main money being paid. They didn't do that. We are where we are today because the federal government has adopted a policy that it knows it cannot defend. That it knows will lead the nation to ruination. You are talking of taking subsidy, but you are renovating the house of the vice president for nearly 30 billion naira. You are buying a presidential jet, right? You are spending money on inanities. Why aren't you saving all the money? So that we know that you really want to reinvest. As you're doing that, the poor are going to get access loans to go to school. I honestly believe that this whole policy trajectory that federal government has adopted is entirely headed in the wrong direction. It will lead us to any meaningful destination. And if they are wise, it is not too late to apologize and begin to work head in that direction. One of their major backers and campaigners on social media was lamenting. He said that when he went to school at Nsukka, UNN Nsukka, food was given to them. Their mattresses were cleaned, the beds were laid by workers, their toilets were washed, everything was cleaned up. But that now, leaders have rapaciously and greedily taken everything away. Earlier, I said that the people that serve Nigeria had not yet arrived. A party member, one of their spokesmen, an ally. So people's eyes are beginning to open. The reality is that this government is a kwango. It's a pure kwango. They are not there to do anything meaningful. It's a kwango. Maybe 4 or 8 years may have passed before we realize that we are just in for a ride, for a very long ride. I hope that we don't wake up too late to realize that this was all just a boogie.
But Abdulhamid, just before we wind up, I wanted to ask. You wanted to say something?
No, I was telling that the supporter of the government will tell you the money realized from subsidy, that is the reason why the states are having more money.
Definitely.
So, it's like the president taking away the money from the masses and giving it to an individual.
To his friends.
Which is not proper, and which is the problem we're having today. So, as far as I'm concerned, we're not doing the right thing. And you cannot be doing the wrong thing and expecting the right results.
Beautiful. Now, I'd love to ask you, just to extend your submission here, what do you think at this point that we can do? Already we are in the mess, right? It's not going to be easy for us to quickly, get off all of these issues we found ourselves. What do you think on the interim that we can start doing as citizens just to ensure that we do not get affected by all of these issues happening today in our country?
What can we do? Is it in terms of policy or in terms of adjustment, or what are you talking about?
Exactly. When it comes to
I don't buy this idea of asking citizens to be adjusting to the lifestyle. People will come up now with political start telling us how to live in this era. You don't eat in the morning, you don't eat in the night, you eat only in the afternoon. So people will come and say you don't think higher. You must limit your thinking, because when you think higher and you don't have the money, you will be those motivational speaking as far as I don't buy it. I don't see why you should be advising citizens to be adjusting to the hardship that is on ground. Why not advise those in government?
The Senate
to also adjust.
The Senate president said we should reduce the number of our cars.
How many has he reduced? Do you know the number of cars is good? Have you ever see what's it called? Why the president or the
convoy?
Have you been privileged to see it? Why are we not asking questions as to what should the government be doing? I don't expect any city to be doing more than what they are doing now. We have been pushed to the wall, and we have sacrificed enough from 2 naira fuel or less than 2 naira fuel per liter to 1,000 plus. And the minimum wage for those who collect minimum wage is 30,000 naira. For those of us who don't collect minimum wage, our income is not increasing. Money is not even coming because those who are supposed to give us money are not even making money. So I expect the government to think more. Forget this frivolous spendings. Spend more on the life of the people. Bring more policies that will improve the life of the people. If possible, as far as I'm concerned, refer to a policy of a subsidy.
Reverse it.
Yes, let's go back to why we had.
Do you think it is?
I remember I said it in the particular TV station a month after that. This if care is not taken, if this is not reversed quickly, that will not be able to correct again.
I hope we are not getting money because even the subsidy, they said, did they really stop paying subsidies?
I'm aware we are told 5 trillion was amount for subsidy this year, and yet we are buying for 1,000 plus.
So this whole voodoo economics we are practicing, a lot is unclear about it. What we want is this: those who have stolen, have stolen. Those who are stealing, are stealing. Is bad enough. But don't make things worse for common Nigerians. If you can afford to allow certain things up, so then give the common man his break. Let him breathe. For goodness sake. People are Nigerians have turned beggars.
Yeah, but forgive me. Sometimes Nigerians who they deserve the kind of they have.
Frankly speaking,
if we should have election next week, you will see majority of Nigeria queue behind the. Now I say majority now. See, you will be surprised that the number of people that will queue behind them.
I understand what you mean.
You'll be surprised and say, are we not the same people? So we are not ready for any change. If we are ready to change, all of us must work hard in putting government under pressure by asking. That's what we think we should do, not to adjust. What the adjustment we should do now is to be more involved in asking questions from the government, in holding government to account. And in ensure that things that will benefit our life are done, and forget sentiments. Yoruba, Aiba, Igbo, Hausa, whatever, Muslim, Christian dichotomy. We should forget all those things and see ourselves as Nigerians, and all of us see ourselves as people that will be affected by the policies of this government if proper care is not taken.
Very true. And of course, just like we know, as the austerity, bites around in Nigeria. Today, obviously, is the World Food Day, WFD. And the theme for this year is right to food for a better life and a better future. So, Labaku, do you think it's worth celebrating even in Nigeria?
I mean, for the first time some days ago, Independence Day, Nigerians were publicly designing memes of suffering. We never had this bad. If the food is not there, what food they are celebrating? Because the food is not on the table.
And that's why you don't hear them say it about it. I'm not even sure whether the Minister of Agriculture is aware of any food.
They won't talk about it.
It's not saying anything about
because there's no food in Nigeria.
Things are bad to the extent that on the October 1st, Tomiland Beach, that you see Nigerians holding by those who sell flags.
Yes.
You cannot see one.
Really sad.
You can't see them say I'm selling them.
Who will buy it? This is to tell you that trust, patriotism, honor for values are earned. They are not static. They are not automatic. They are earned. If you don't give people the reason to believe, they will shun it. They are earned. That's why I'm not a believer of what the World Bank said, because I'm not seeing it. I must see the working plan. I must see the plan, the work that will make me believe that yes, truly the way things are going, we have to be patient a bit. But even if we are going to be patient, is it for us to die?
Well, we hope and we pray for the best. Obviously, Nigerians are very dogged people, and we hope that we would survive this. We've survived this in the past, and I know we would survive this even in the future. Thank you so very much, Cyril Abaku, for being part of our show today. Pastor Tunji Abdulhamid, thank you as always.
Thank you very
much. All right, that's just about the time we have for our show today. We'd love to say thank you to you for having to join us. Wherever it is you've reached us from, we'd love to say thank you to you. But please do well to visit us. You can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com, and you may like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry. You could be Cal. See you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.